Hello guys and welcome to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here. I know it's been a long time actually since I've been uploading my last video, but here I am. It's summer, I'm in Vienna, it's quite hot and I'm really in the mood for some fruity fragrances. So I thought I'm gonna recommend you some nice fruity Middle Eastern fragrances. So for Middle Eastern brands, like for example Latafa is actually a brand I have a lot of fragrances from, and especially fruity fragrances. I'm a big fan of fruity fragrances in general, especially when you have musk in there or amber. And I'm gonna start now with my recommendations. The first fragrance I would like to talk about is this one here, Amber Oud Gold by Al Haramain. This is supposed to be a dupe for Erba Pura. I think it's an amazing dupe. If you know Erba Pura, it's very fruity, very musky, very strong and very potent. And I feel like you're gonna get the same effect with this one here. It is a very heavy bottle. I also love to layer this scent with other fragrances, just I like to layer with every scent actually. And this is very long lasting, very potent. I get around 7 to 8 hours. And if you're looking for a great dupe for Erba Pura, this one is really it. The next one I'm going to talk about is another dupe, just like most of the Latafa fragrances, Kashaf. And this one here is supposed to be a dupe for Mula Mula or La Capitale by Xerjov. It's more or less the same in my personal opinion from the bottle. It really does look like it's supposed to be a dupe for Mula Mula. This is strawberry, peaches, caramel, and oud. And to me, actually, it's not a very dense fragrance, because if you hear caramel and if you hear oud, you would think of something that's very just deep and dense. This one I think is quite airy, very refreshing, even slightly sparkling. You have the strawberry in here. Peach I don't really get a lot. Oud I actually get not at all. Maybe if there's oud in here, it's just a little bit, but you get the caramel. And I do get some woody touches. Also, when I talked about this fragrance, some people were asking me if you get the leather. And there is leather note in here, but it's not animalic at all, and it's very much in the background. What you get here is really a fruity strawberry. So if you've tried La Capitale, this is really more or less what you're gonna get. It's also quite long lasting. I wouldn't say that this is really beast mode, but it projects a lot, especially the first 2 hours. And from the longevity, I would say you get around 5 to 6 hours. Then the next fragrance is actually a fragrance I haven't been talking about at all, and it's Blueberry Musk by Arabiat. This is, I don't think, a dupe for anything. At least I haven't tried any scent that smells like this one here. I was very intrigued by this. I was really trying to get this fragrance for the longest time, but it's not available anywhere. But my parents, they're often in Egypt, and here and there, they get me this a few fragrances I have on my list, and I had this one on my list, and they managed to get me this fragrance. So from the name, you would think of something that's very fruity, very musky. In my personal opinion, I get the blueberry, but it's very sweet, very gourmand-like. To me, this smells like white chocolate chip cookies with some blueberries on top. It really smells like pastry, but it isn't too sweet. It's not like caramel. It's very nice and sensual vanilla, and you get the musk. But I feel like, to me, this is more like of a vanilla gourmand fragrance with blueberries. It isn't really the most long lasting. This is a little bit disappointing, to be very honest. However, I do think it's really worth it, especially for layering. When it comes to longevity, I would say I get 3 to 4 hours. It does project, just not a lot. I would say you get a strong projection in the first half hour, and then it kind of dries down to a skin scent. And after 4 to 5 hours, I cannot really smell it at all. This really doesn't have a lot of development. It's a very linear fragrance. But if you like blueberry, if you like vanilla, and if you like gourmand fragrances, this one is perfect for you. Then we have a few more fragrances, and this is really one of my all-time favorites, Khaltaat Al Arabia by Latafa. And this is just one of the most amazing fragrances. I get super nostalgic because I remember I've been talking a lot about this fragrance 2 years ago, and I still have it in my collection. I think this is my third bottle now. This one is pina colada, straight up. This really smells like pina colada. So you get the pineapple, you get the coconut. I do get some other fruits as well. And I remember checking reviews back then, and some people were saying they were getting watermelon. Some people were saying that they were like getting citrusy fragrant, citrusy notes. I don't get citruses at all. Or apple. I've heard that quite a few times. I don't get any apple at all. I really get pineapple and I get the coconut. And I think this is really beautiful. It has a nice development. To me, I also get the amber. So this is very warm, very ambery as well, spicy, but just not like heavy spicy. It's not like this typical Oriental or Middle Eastern fragrance DNAs. If you think of like saffron and cardamom, there are spices in here, but really the main character is a creamy coconut and pineapple. It isn't really long lasting, but it does project. So every time when I wear it and when I layer it with other fragrances, it's kind of, you really get it, you really smell it. Just not for like several hours. I would say from the longevity, it's 4 hours, 5 hours maximum. I do overspray it, but I don't mind for this price point because all of these fragrances you can get for under 50 euro. I paid for Khaltaat Al Arabia back then, I think the last time 22 euros or 20 euros, which is totally fine with me. You get 100 milliliters, a beautiful bottle, a beautiful presentation, and an amazing scent. Then the next one is Ser Al Khulood. This one is a beast mode fragrance, and this is also from Latafa. It's very long lasting, very potent, very strong, also very synthetic. You do have to like synthetic fragrances to like this scent. The bottle, I don't really like it, but I don't really care. Honestly, I always care about the scent, of course, because when you're gonna wear the scent, people are gonna compliment the fragrance on you and not how it looks like. And you get a lot of strawberry, white floral touches. I get tuberose, definitely jasmine, and it's like a sharp jasmine note. But you get a lot of sugar as well. It's very sugary, very sweet, and perfect for layering as well. Definitely not a safe blind buy. I do think I would recommend you if you have the possibility to try it. But if you like strawberries, if you like super sweet fragrances, then you're gonna enjoy this one for sure. And again, it's not a very expensive fragrance, so it's great for you as well for layering, you know? I mean, if I have a fragrance in my collection and I don't really like it that much because I have a lot of fragrances that were blind buys, I somehow managed to just come with a layering combination and I end up liking it. I didn't really like it the first time when I smelled it. I was like, it does smell like Gucci Rush. It's very sweet, but I thought, okay, give me a try. I'm gonna layer it with a few fragrances, and I ended up layering it, for example, with Khaltaat Al Arabia or with Kashaf Oud by Swiss Arabian, another amazing fragrance from the Middle East. And yes, so definitely also great and big recommendation from my side if you like strawberries. Then we have two more fragrances. Another one I haven't been talking about at all is L'Aventure Femme by Al Haramain. This is a heavy bottle. This is the 200 milliliter bottle. This is supposed to be a dupe for Creed for Her. So Ventus Creed for Her, because you have the OG for the man, of course, with the pineapple. Everyone loves it. I'm a big fan too. And from the same house, you have a dupe for it. And this is a dupe for the female version. In my personal opinion, this is a unisex fragrance. I think men can wear it, women can wear it. Also great for layering. This is really strong and long lasting. It projects a lot. And I just love it in the spring and in the summer because on the one hand, you have the fruits, and I feel like I get berries and peach. I really get that creamy peach note. And then on the other hand, I feel like I get white florals, jasmine. And I think this is super refreshing. This is a very happy scent, slightly sparkling as well, like sparkling water or champagne. Just think of a fruity lemonade with peaches, and I think it's really stunning. Definitely long lasting, as already said. I get around 5 to 6 hours, which is totally fine with me. Again, overspraying. When I say overspraying, I go with 10 to 15 sprayers, but then I have a second fragrance I layer it with. And then I go in with 10 to 15 sprays again. So I end up with around 30 sprayers, and this is a lot. However, I do think this is a nice DNA. It's really not overwhelming. It's not really one of those fragrances I feel like that can give you a headache. For example, I do feel like this one here, this can give you a headache because it's very synthetic. The other one, for example, really easy to go, easy to wear, especially Khaltaat Al Arabia. I think this is really a safe blind buy. This one is easy to wear, big compliment together, and just stunning overall. And the last fragrance I'm gonna talk about is Ramz Gold by Latafa. This is really underrated. This one is a hidden gem. I see barely any reviews out there, whether it's on TikTok or on YouTube. I think this one really deserves more hype. To me, this is a peachy fragrance, but you do get a few different notes and fruits. I feel like it's similar to Erba Pura, but not from the scent, but from how it's made actually, or the overall vibe. Because with Erba Pura, it's also very hard to see what type of notes you have in there or what type of fruits actually. Because with Erba Pura, for example, I get melon, I get citruses, I feel like I get some apple as well. It's the same with this one here, but this one is heavier on the rose. So think of a fruity rose and think of ripe fruits. This is not a very fresh scent. This one is deeper, very creamy, and you get super ripe fruits. I feel like you get the peach again. It smells like peachy, like peach jam, for example. Think of this jammy sweetness, and with the rose in here with sandalwood, I think the sandalwood in here adds some even more creaminess, and you have jasmine as well and some other florals, but really mainly I get the rose and the fruits. This is a very strong and very potent fragrance. I think it's super crazy because this one is my first bottle. I got this one 2 years ago. I have some left, and I never really need more than 10 sprayers. Really, this is very, very strong, projecting a lot, and also very inexpensive. I paid 18 euros back then, I think, and I think that the price is the same more or less. Definitely, you can get this one for under 30 euros, and amazing. Definitely, all of them are unisex. When it comes to safe blind buys, as already said, I think Khaltaat Al Arabia is a safe blind buy. Just like Kashaf, this is also a safe blind buy if you like strawberry and if you're looking for a good dupe for Mula Mula or La Capitale. Then this one here, of course, is a safe blind buy because it's supposed to be dupe for Erba Pura. If you know Erba Pura, if you like it, get this one. It's amazing. Other than that, this is everything I wanted to say. I have a few more fragrances, actually a lot of more fragrances, but I felt like these one are the ones I want to talk about. These are also the fragrances I gravitated towards lately when I'm in the mood for some fruity fragrances, and if I don't want to like use my super expensive niche fragrances, I use this one here. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked the video. If you did, then please hit the like button. Comment down below, tell me your favorite Middle Eastern fruity fragrances, and I hope to see you again soon for another review.